Hello, everybody, and welcome to an edition of us reviewing a film that is a check. This reminds me of the fucking Gold Dust when he had Threats gimmick. Czechoslovakian masterpiece, the Cremator.
The Cremator. If you want to, I want to pronounce the Czech language. It's Spalovač mrtvol in Czechoslovakia. Now, is Czechoslovakia, is that in Croatia or is that somewhere else?
Yeah, it's in Croatia.
You don't know either, do you?
No, I don't know.
Czechoslovakian film, 1969. This is weird. So, our buddy Demal, a.k.a. William, one of the ballers and shot callers on DEADPIT on Patreon, requested this movie. And, man, he picked some of the craziest fucking... Like, I'd never heard of this. But the Cremator...
I think it's just the Cremator. I was
the Cremator. The Tomator.
Tomator's
from Cars, right?
Right. That's Larry the Cable Guy. He's big around here for 20 years.
If they make another Cars movie, which I'm sure eventually they will because Disney's run out of fucking ideas and they might as well. They need to have a hearse car called the Cremator.
That'd be killing shit. They could have Jenna Ortega do the voice or something.
So, dark comedy horror film from 1969, directed by Jiraj Herz, a Czechoslovakian man that in 1969 made what is known as one of the best Czechoslovakian films of all time, still to this day, in The Cremator. So, to talk about this movie, Uncle Bill, to describe this movie is going to be a challenge because it is one of those surrealistic, artsy, very well made, very well shot, very great editor in this. It's very well done and everything. What's up, Bathy Bell? How you doing? Look, put that back up there. So I remember somebody wrote to us back in the day, right? And they put the same thing as Batsy here, right? And I thought that they were just calling me Hick, right? Hi, CK. Hick.
Yeah. Yep.
So that just brought back some memories. It follows the Cremator by the name of, what the hell is his name? Camel?
Yeah.
Carol. That's his name. Carol. Very. What?
It's nothing. Hey, Camel, what you doing, buddy? We're just fucking Possum and fucking Possum and
fucker. Fucking Camel. You make some good cigarettes, pal.
Oh shit.
But yeah, set in 1938. Most of the movie is entirely the lead character played by Rudolph Herinsky. He's the whole movie. He is the whole effing show. He's
like Rob Van Dam of Czechoslovakian avant-garde films from the 60s.
He's like the Czechoslovakian Dean Malenko. He is the man of 1,000 words.
Man of 1,000 facial expressions, yeah.
The movie is him. It's following him. Primarily, he's like almost a narrator in the movie. He's like pretty much the only person that really talks. Very odd character. Of course, he works in a crematorium. He is fascinated by the afterlife and what happens when, he has it down to the minute how long it takes to cremate people and turn them into ash and bring them back out into the ether, I think he says. And he's a very creepy character. I'll give him that. I think that he performed the role well. It is Czechoslovakian, if we haven't said that. So this is a film that you have to read, Uncle Bill. And it is on YouTube if anybody wants to check it out. It's the time we're watching this. This is a Criterion release. So that should tell you what you're in for here, kind of. And then,
I mean, I will say, like, it does have some interesting ideas in it. Like, his whole gimmick in the movie is the fact that he believes that death can basically help people, and cremation can, like, help people, because there's a part where he talks about, like, it can free you from the woes of life, from the tree of woe, if you will. It can free you from your problems and ultimately cleanse you in spirit, which is very odd, because there's this whole parallel Nazi storyline going on in the movie too, where like the Nazis are like getting ready to invade Czechoslovakia or getting ready to be in Czechoslovakia. I don't know how exactly that works.
Evidently, there are a lot of Jewish people in Czechoslovakia in 1938.
Yeah. So,
including some of his family, I think, right? Wasn't that
right?
Sort of the,
right. Yeah. That's the gimmick too. So a lot of the language he uses is like a lot of the language that the Germans used, around that time for the ethnic cleansing part of what they were doing as well. I'm sure that's not by coincidence either. And he says a lot of the same things over and over again, like that whole line about, how, it helps you. He also talks about weird things like his house and his bathroom a lot. He's like, we've got the perfect bathroom, and like our house is so sublime. And he just keeps repeating these same phrases again. And he's got this poor fucking wife who you can tell is like absolutely disgusted by him, but like she has to act like everything's okay. And he will like say these weird things to her and like have these weird kind of like conversations about death and the afterlife and things to her. And she's constantly just on edge. And really though, like, I don't think there's an ongoing story to this. Is there? Like, he's just like a cremator who works in this place, has a family, aspires to have like the perfect life, it seems like, and the perfect family and the perfect house. Very kind of arrogant, talks about people. That's another thing that keeps repeating. He'll talk about like people that he knows, the neighbors, and how one of them got like a drinking problem. One of them's got like this going on. And the interesting thing about this movie is that it's one of those, I don't want to say avant-garde, that's not the right word, expressionistic movies. And when he will say something, they'll like flash pictures up of what he like the person. And there's all these scenes that come and like they'll flash certain imagery and things like that up in front of you almost subliminally. So it's a wild movie, man. It really is.
For the time period. Yeah.
It would take a fucking doctorate to really figure out what in the hell is actually going on in this movie.
Yeah, this is definitely above my pay grade here. And you all know how I feel about subtitles in movies. Like, I don't understand how it got away from the dub. Like, I like dubs. They work for me, brother. They always have. I never understood. Don't like them.
A lot of like purists hate dubs. Like, that's what I've noticed.
Like movies that had been dubbed previously, recently even, like the High Tension release from Second Sight Films does not have the dub on it at all. It's not even on there. I mean, I don't understand, but I'm just a simple Kentuckian. I don't know. But like, to me, and the way I enjoy films and everything, it has to be, and I'm not saying this isn't a great movie, because if you look up reviews, everybody says this is a great, amazing, one of the best movies of all time and everything. But man, like, it takes part of it. It takes something away from me if I have to read the fucking movie, especially if there's a shit ton of dialogue in it, which there was in this. Like, you pretty much have to be focused entirely
Yeah,
on
which
reading the movie.
see that's I can't really do that a lot either though, because the time that I get to watch movies is generally like on and off throughout the day. And I can't really completely like focus on something unless it's the weekend or something like that. And like, yeah, yeah, I do prefer dub and things like that too, because I can still keep up with what's going on. I don't have to watch every single fucking frame of the film. Although in this case, with this movie, um, there's so much stuff going on in this movie that it probably would behoove you to watch every single frame of the film.
Yeah. I mean, it's very well done. The editing is chaotic throughout. The way they put this movie together, man, it had to take for fucking ever for them to edit
Yeah.
it the way that they did.
It's almost as if like the editor is the narrator of the film. Like instead of like a narrator like that speaks what's going on, it's shown in images. Like what he's talking about, he's kind of talking his way through the movie, the lead. And then they will show the imagery of all the kind of different like ideas and thoughts and things like that he has. And then like just some of the times when he'll just go into a place, the way that it's shot, man, is so different than anything else that I've really seen too. Like it's not like a typical somebody walks in that follows them around, and like two shots, not anything like that. Nothing normal that you would think of when you think about like how movies are shot. Like they'll shoot the fucking ceiling and like focus on the tiles, and like there'll be like shots like hanging from like behind him overhead, like just crazy stuff, which is what I mean. They were doing experimental filmmaking clearly around that time anyway. Like, and this is what that movie is really.
Right. I mean, yeah, I can definitely appreciate it, but at the same time, this is a movie that's really not for me and you. It's not like
No, because I mean, like I said, I've used this reference before because I think it's a perfect reference for this. But it's like when it's like the atomic bomb, right? Like the people that made the atomic bomb, you can admire the work that went into it and the craftsmanship that went into it, but not like the end result. And that's kind of like where I'm at with this movie. Like I can clearly see how this movie is incredibly well made and would be a masterpiece to a lot of people, right? If you're of a certain mindset and probably a certain age, this would be like a masterpiece. But it's very difficult for me personally to get through a movie like this just because it's essentially the same dialogue repeated over and over again. There's a slow kind of ratcheting up of him losing his grip, not necessarily going insane, but like him becoming like a more and more kind of morally bankrupt person. But it takes a really long time, and it's what's the word? So minimal that it's very difficult for me to kind of like get anything out of it, if that makes any sense.
the main performance though, the Carol, not Camel, Carol in the movie, Rudolph Hurinsky. The guy does do a fantastic job, and I was looking him up because he's a Czechoslovakian fella and one of the most popular Czech actors. And evidently, there's 3 movies that he did that are considered classics of Czech cinema: The Good Soldier Sevic, The Cremator, and Capricious Summer. So this guy is like the Al Pacino of Czechoslovakian actors.
Mm-hmm.
And evidently he was also a politician, it says here. So that's interesting.
You know what I thought of immediately when I saw him, though? Was the dude that's like the guy in the Human Centipede 2. Do you remember that little guy? Like, I'm pretty sure they styled that guy after this film, now that I've watched this film.
Yeah, the fucking, he almost looks like he's has drum or something, but he doesn't. He's seriously,
yeah, he does.
Like he's got bug. Like, what was his name? Yeah.
Man, I couldn't tell you now. Like I probably could have told you at one point in time, but like, I mean, they look almost identical. They're both like they got
He
the
kind of
same.
reminded me a little bit of Peter Lorre as well.
Yeah,
Has that
very
same
like
kind of
that.
look.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, interesting movie. I think that it was kind of banned for a few years there due to the content and whatever political environment Czechoslovakia was going through with that old regime before the new regime came over. I know that, like I'd heard about that because evidently what was the remnants of the Nazi party was still kind of over there around this time period.
right.
And for 1969, didn't you think there was a lot of like gratuitous nudity in this too?
Yeah, it was weird because that's what I was thinking because it was on YouTube. I was like, how the fuck is this still up on YouTube with like all this nudity in it and shit? But like, I guess that you probably don't even nobody pays attention to this movie, so it's like, there is a lot of scenes of just random women get naked in this 1969.
And hey, let me say this: I have seen quite a few haughty Czechoslovakia girls in this movie. I was like, holy shit, they're pretty damn good looking women in this movie in Czechoslovakia. I wonder if that isn't that one of the countries where you can order brides through the mail and shit.
Probably, yeah.
Interesting. Well, Gerard Hers, and oh wow, this guy just recently passed away. Okay. Passed away in 2018 at the age of 83. This is still known to this day, though, as one of the very best Czechoslovakian movies of all time. There's a Criterion release of this. Evidently, for a long time, this movie was very hard to see. So there is, and I think the version that's on YouTube is from the Criterion Blu-ray. So it's a very nice transfer on it and everything. And I mean, it's a well-made movie. It's an hour and 40 minutes. Very well done. The music is really good. The editing is good on it.
The editing's the best part, really, in my opinion. The I should say the imagery mixed with the editing is probably the best part.
Yeah, but again, like we were saying, this is just a film that's not made for us, and we can appreciate the.
Yeah, it's like I feel like this is like one step beyond what I can like do. But I feel like Dirk would like this film for some reason. Like Dirk is really into those types of movies, and I think that he would enjoy it.
Yeah. So if you want to check it out, like I said, it is on YouTube. You can check it out there or Criterion.com. Get the Blu-ray if you want. The Cremator from 1969, baby. Check it out. Check us out over at
DeadPit.com.
I'd like to tell people, thumbs up the video, Uncle Bill.
Would you?
Yes. Thumbs it up with violence and fury and just love everything about it.
You hit the heart button, then you hit the ass button, then you hit the go fuck yourself button. Follow that up with the I don't give a shit button.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit Radio shirts. You can get Last South on the left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Special thanks goes out to our supporters on Patreon. Do you know what kind of stuff you can get on Patreon, Uncle Bill, starting at only $1 a month?
What's that?
Access to every Dead Pit show since 2005. We got almost 200 fan commentaries that we've done over the decades.
We have a literal jukebox full of songs, and thousands of reviews. I don't even know how many shows are up on there now that we've done over the years.
Hundreds of thousands.
You need to figure this out now and subscribe to us on Patreon and YouTube and Instagram and help us to 1 million. The road to 1 million subscribers starts today.
So DeadPit on Patreon.com. Join today. Tiers start at only $1, but I'd recommend at least the $10 tier.
You can do 50. The stock market's crashing around us, folks, but send us money.